The changing world of retail will never be the same. So how do you push for growth? With the impact and scale of targeted TV. Measure ROI on your TV advertising spend? You bet. Know exactly where and when your commercials were delivered. Reduce waste and increase the impact of your impressions into highly concentrated areas? We can find those for you. Plan your ad budget and know that you can track sales lift down to the zip code. Drive growth in this changing world of retail? It's all possible with targeted TV. Hey there, it's Shelley Stansfield from Centriply. Thanks for watching our on-demand webinar series. This session is focused on advanced TV advertising for retailers. Reach your audience on TV to drive foot traffic into your stores, increase sales all across your locations. Whether you're running specialty shops spread all around the country or a mid-sized regional chain, the data behind your activity can drive a TV campaign, support growth and awareness at scale, using targeted TV techniques to find audiences and keep that conversation going. Look beyond standard demographic profiles to find loyal customers and reach out to new audience segments and enter areas that offer growth opportunities. And most importantly, know where your TV impressions are landing. I would like to let viewers know, if you're watching this video on YouTube, simply click on the link below the video and you'll be connected to a landing page that contains all of these cool resources, so you can refer back to them whenever you need. On our website, centriply.com, there's also a Q&A tab that answers even more questions that you may have. Starting from the left, here you can see we've created an Introduction to Targeted TV packet. It's a 10-page booklet that provides an easy way for you to explain and understand a targeted TV solution. It's based on targeted audiences, location, programming, and cost. In that packet, we also include a checklist to quickly answer, when is targeted TV right? There are maps that make the concept easy to see and understand, and a use case that covers driving customers to a location. There's a page of benefits, and they point out how a brand's investments in advanced TV can demonstrate value and justify the performance of the media, and that helps raise the comfort level of your future commitments. In the center, we've included an infograph funnel of what the whole TV marketplace looks like, starting from the broadest reach of TV broadcast on the top down to a single user and a device-centric digital option. It's a pretty familiar concept for marketers, and this shows how TV stacks up. Each break between the levels represents points where ads can be inserted, and at the bottom portion of the funnel, that includes some significant linear TV options that fall into the advanced TV category. As advertisers, you need to know the advantages and limits of each and how they can be combined for a whole view of the full video stack. Next is the virtuous cycle of data. That illustrates the retargeting ability of TV. Using digital audience segments reinforced by sales data, it can gauge the impact of media performance. By leading with data and having it reinforce each step of the way, it helps complete the ROI measurement and supports your ongoing decisions. And at the bottom right is an at-a-glance side-by-side comparison of households addressable to other groups of addressable TV and their advantages and drawbacks, so you can decide what's right. With all this, you'll have a whole kit. You'll be ready to go in no time. You will be a targeted TV expert. Centriply also has an on-demand library offering 2 other webinars. One covers how targeted TV supports CMOs and other media consultants that are guiding their clients through the opportunities of advanced TV. The second one clarifies how TV impressions can be tracked to sales lift by zip code and can be measured and tracked for TV ROI. Also, there's an extensive list of use cases that you can tap into across a whole lineup of industry categories. These are just some of the educational materials that we provide to help change the mindset that may still linger that media is just a cheap commodity, and show that solid planning can elevate commercials to really leverage being in the right content, in the right location, in front of the right audience. That drives results for retailers so they can really thrive. Here's some stats. And when I checked with my research department, they were pretty adamant that everything you see listed here is changing every single day. Now, according to Nielsen, there are over 118 million TV households this year. A majority of them receive some sort of signal. So it's hard to find one that doesn't. 29% of those households have a smart TV, and that equals 40.2 million households in 2016. One of the things that I thought was surprising was that the number of game consoles has actually gone down from almost 51% in 2013. But let's keep going. So TV will never be the same for retailers, and it shouldn't be. We think you should expect more from TV, like zip code level measurement, being able to match your direct mail list to the same areas that the TV impressions are being delivered to. It's all about delivery. You should be able to expect your TV promotion offers matched to your website. Geofence trading areas around each of your locations, they're all measurable, and the impressions that fall outside of those areas don't count in my book. And to have the ability to target custom areas well below the DMA, like counties, cities, and other regions. Well, all of that can be done right now. Many retailers don't realize that there are tons of opportunities to get in front of their audiences in the right TV programming in all different places around the country. Hey, this must be a marketing webinar. Look, a funnel. Now, this one's a little different. It shows the various ways an ad can be inserted into what we call the full video stack. The term advanced TV is about the category of audience buying on television. There are many layers. Now, these layers are like doors, and where the TV stations and the cable systems can insert your commercials into their set breaks in their programming. And you can start at as small as a household level and grow to a single zone. And then getting bigger, you can combine to a custom group of cable zones together to make a specific universe that contains high concentrations of the audience that you're looking for. And that breaks the constraints of traditional TV and market areas. You know, for us, it means letting the audience data drive the media plan. It's about reaching your audience, not just a standard TV demo. Getting away from traditional TV and expecting it to provide a specific audience with granular measurement and tracking some sort of performance. It lets the advertiser determine what the goal is, whether it's a website visit, heading over to the mall, increasing foot traffic. The benefits of targeted TV to advertisers is about eliminating the pain points and the confusion in the buying process for brands. They get to evaluate a new media channel they may not have considered before, compare media costs. With more options, you can decrease risk, increase scale and impact. Then, we can measure the outcome at the zip code level. You can achieve TV segmentation really at scale. Advertisers can get greater efficiency to their target audience, and they can achieve media investments that are in line with the data that they supplied to support the business goals that they wanted. Our Tango Media Suite software platform takes these different layers and compares them to each other. How? Well, we started over 10 years ago, and we started at the census block level and built our analytics from the ground up. And we tackled the most difficult part, the cable zones first. Since there are around 3,000 of them, a brand can combine them in all sorts of ways. Now, we know the footprint of every zone. We have the zip codes that are within each of them. And you can combine things like states and counties and cities And this flexibility gives you scale well beyond OTT. And the impressions can happen quickly. We've worked with several digital planners. They often start a campaign and let it run for a month. And then they do the optimizing. But, we really know after 1 week of posting what's going on and how we need to adjust to get the right impression levels. With this level of targeted TV, we can combine location, audience segment you're looking for, the day parts, and the network indices that are particularly high among that group, and we know the cost of the media. So that all combines to make a blockbuster plan. There seems to be a misconception that traditional TV is expensive, mysterious, hard to know where the value is. We all hear about the price of the Super Bowl ads. They're outrageous. We know our clients have said to us that their top concerns about TV are cost, measurement, and reach. There's plenty of opportunity here to reach high-value TV audiences. My team sees it every day. But our job is evaluating what's right for the advertiser's communication goals first, because we're not selling the inventory. We give you a real unbiased opinion of what it can and can't do. That allows the advertiser to decide if a $50 CPM is right or a $20 CPM gets better results. We've been tracking ad time for years. We can look at locations all across the country. So once you've found the relevant area, right programming, and the right price, the opportunities in TV are all around. The ability to reach your target audience with minimal waste can be a bit more expensive than buying remnant time or prepackaged deals. But often you don't know where your impressions ran in those deals. Today we're talking about premium placement. It's more about appropriateness and quality. Now, when considering is TV right for you and your company and your brand, what you need to decide is how long is your commercial? 15, 30, 60 seconds long? TV isn't as flexible as video, and they're pretty standard time slots. Does your budget support effective communication goals? Too little weight won't have any impact. You need a longer flight to build frequency and awareness or have someone take action. Are you able to benchmark your success and your efforts? Can you count it? Are you looking to improve website orders, increase foot traffic to a certain location, or drive a promotion effort that you've been tracking? There is the ability to do A/B testing and then measure the effects of media weight and message versioning, and the different things that are going into the controlled area versus a non-exposed area. And that last thing, do you have an effective timeline for your commercial to be aired? If you have an event coming up, and for many retailers, there's one in every quarter, do you have enough time to plan and get on the air? Let's take a look at this example. In one TV campaign for a mid-sized retailer, they were focused on increasing year-over-year sales for 72 stores in 8 markets. On this map, we see 8 of those stores, and they're marked by pins. The black outline indicates 2 traditional TV DMAs. There's a lot of waste around those pins if we use a spot TV campaign. For them, in-store purchases still account for 90% of customer transactions, so increasing foot traffic is crucial. In this case, the strategy was to draw in return visitors, and the audience target was previous customers who were women between 25 and 49 years old and lived within a 10-mile radius of these stores. So this map analysis tells us who we can reach, where they are, and then we index those zip codes in those areas to find even higher concentrations. For the same out-of-pocket budget as last year, we focused the media weight where it will have the most impact. And now we'll fast forward and review a summary of what happened. When we counted the audience in the area that they were trying to reach within those 10 miles, They really were only looking for 27% of all women 25 to 49 in the DMAs. Next, they wanted to measure against what they had done in the DMA previously, and then track against same-store traffic. So for this one, we used Nielsen local impression counts, but it could have been set-top box data, TiVo, ComScore. We only count what falls within the areas we're targeting. And what are the results? Overall, they experienced a 23% lift across the entire chain during the 12-week flight. The test universe was where the flight ran, and the control was where it had been shown previously. Hey, but enough about us. This webinar is about you guys. The most important thing to take away from today is that TV can work for you. With the right dash of data, lots of locations, throw in some programming indices, and voila, you get targeted impressions and CPMs. We're going to focus on how you can get on the air and what it takes to get the most value out of the money you put in. This webinar is going to fast-track you to getting your company in front of your ideal audience, and quickly. It's important to remember while Advanced TV promises audience targeting, we also promise scale. So during our remaining time together, let's see, we'll go through the ways to identify your target audience, using techniques like combining customer purchases by zip code. And then we can match those zip codes to available TV impressions. Or you can use Experian or LiveRamp segments. They're great for lookalike audiences. And we can answer, is TV right for your business? How Advanced TV can increase your return on your media investment. Now, we know advertising is just one of the tools anyone needs for a business. It's extremely important, but by no means an end in itself. You can have the greatest strategy in the world, but if you don't have the tactics for reaching your audience, well, what's the quote? Strategy without execution is hallucination. I mention this because sometimes we meet people who say things like, I tried advertising on TV and it didn't work. They assume that the media used is responsible for the success or failure of a campaign. So to create effective reach, we need a few components. Now, when I'm looking at a TV campaign, I take a step back and I ask a few questions. What kind of data do you collect? How far do your customers drive to your locations? What's your customer profile or persona? Do they fall into a standard demographic, age range? Are they mostly female, male? Do you offer a loyalty program that tracks purchase activities? Is that tied to zip codes and billing addresses? Do you have the zip codes of shipped items to create a mailing list or discount coupons? Any one of those can be used to drive a media plan that finds them on TV. Whether it's by location or in the right programming environment, the shows that they talk about when they get to work, you can create reach. Oh, this would be a good place to stop for a second. We'd like to hear from you. Let's pull up this poll and see how many of these different media outlets do you currently use in your plan. We've got, let's look, direct mail, radio, out of home, video pre-roll, social, broadcast TV, or all of the above. Now, when we had the live version of this webinar, we found the results were very compelling. If you're watching on YouTube, we're still very interested in what you do. Just click on the link below the video. It'll take less than 30 seconds to complete. And as our thanks, you'll receive a Starbucks gift card for filling it out. Here are the results from our original group of viewers. All right, so let's see how this tallies up. I see 37% still use direct mail, 42% use pre-roll video, and 13% use radio. Interesting. They all can be traced back to and our current theme is the zip code. And since zip codes are a focus for us, they're old but kind of new. They work now and they're so well established that we can use them for measurement into the future. Hey, this is all working right now. People-based data can drive your TV plan. Don't be confined by 210 traditional TV markets and standard demos. Your own mailing lists and loyalty programs are a great place to start. Then there's public data like census. We can draw a trade radius. I've spoken about that twice already. Or use a drive time to let you know how many of your customers are within, say, 2 miles. What do they watch? There's MRI and Scarborough data that can tell us which day parts and programming work for the audience that you're looking for. Just starting with an audience segment and geography, you can decide if advanced TV is the right option for you and your communication goals. Hey, it looks like we're getting close to the end, but I'll give you a quick peek on how it's done in our planning platform. What you see here is how we can give you answers for your TV planning. We've developed this dashboard to give planners a view into what options are out there. What you're seeing is our National Video Inventory Optimizer, or Tango NVO. It's a bit different than the mapping software we showed you before in our case study. It's just another of our 12 modules. This one looks through all the breaks in all the cable zones to find out what's in the right programming and location for your audience all at once. We don't do sequential elimination. Yeah, I know those are big words, and that'll get you great points in Scrabble. You're welcome to use them later. It just means that we look at the entire pool of inventory at once, kind of like a giant sifter. And up here, it's got pretty colors. So the first question we ask is, who's your audience? In this case, we pulled an Asian population anywhere in the U.S. Just choosing 4 counties near Seattle could be an option too. What kind of interest do they have? Well, this brand was looking for groups that play scratch-off games. The MR data will tell us the highest rated shows, and the same thing with the day parts of what they watch. And the audience measurement for this client was requested at the household level. And I hit the triangle in the middle, and we see that we can cover 50% of the U.S. Asian population with 20 TRPs, or total rating points. Let's look at the details of how this breaks out. The last part, the green box on the far right, shows you the media plan. For a bit less than $85,000 a week, you can cover 50% of the Asian audience, or 7,283,000 households. And into those households, you have up to 4,400,000 impressions in 1 week that you can get to that audience. And the CPM, it's around $19.15. It's very comparable to digital CPMs. This was just 1 week, but it shows you how we can play around with budget and area to ramp up impact, and it gives you a very clear picture of what you can expect from your TV dollars. With an advanced targeted TV approach, you're going to make a difference in your marketing campaigns because you're going to focus the TV weight where it'll have the greatest audience impression value, because it's going to be your audience. It'll focus TV weight where it'll have the greatest impact on your business outcomes. And it's going to be measurable to your benchmark custom universe. One thing I can recommend is reach out to us after this webinar is over and sign up for a strategy session. It's free, no obligation. That way, the specific situation with your business can be really addressed. We can give more detailed answers on questions you have on your specific situations, and we can talk about whether you're web-focused or brick and mortar, and things like price points on your products. It could all affect the tactics that we suggest, and then mostly, how would this fit into the rest of your media campaign? Hey, Kaylin, that looks like we're getting to the end of our time, but I'm really happy to send people more case studies. Just like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, send us an email, and keep an eye out For our next couple of webinars are going to be advanced TV targeting for driving ticket sales for event marketers. And after that, we've got one for medium-sized agencies and how, by using advanced TV, it'll set you apart when getting new business. Well, more than happy to talk to you. And hey, everybody, welcome to the future of TV.